Okay, we're back. So we're working on a Polaris 90 ATV. What we did so far was remove the back fenders, remove the two-stroke oil injection bottle. I took off this wheel just to make it easier access to get to the left side of the engine. We removed our air cleaner, which was right here. It was three screws, the filter element, and two mounting points that were holding it on. Now we can see the carburetor. That's our carburetor, and this line right here is our injection line. So what we're going to want to do, because we're not going to be reusing it, but I do like this clamp they have that's on there. So we're going to cut this line right here. And then I am going to physically put something in her to plug the hole. I'm probably going to use some sort of screw or what have you. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take out that screw right there that's connected to that rubber boot, which is our fuel intake. Because, you know, the gas goes into the carburetor and through that tube into the engine. Okay, so we're going to take a Phillips screwdriver and we're going to loosen that up just like that. See, no big deal. Now once we get it loose enough, we're just going to gently give a pull on the back side of this carburetor and it should come right off. Okay, like that, little wiggle, wiggle. Now if it doesn't, you don't want to force it because that rubber boot does have potential to crack. It can crack and then you're going to have a whole another set of problems. So let's loosen it up a little more. You know, I see my problem. It looks like there's a nut on the other side of this. I'm going to need both my hands for this. So let me see what I could do here. Aha, that seems to be not great angle, but hopefully I can get this off and you guys can kind of tell what I'm doing. So yeah, I guess what it's boiling down to with this particular clamp is they rigged it up and looks like they might have an incorrect screw on it. And or maybe that's how this one was designed. However, they do have a double nut on this, so I can only assume that something's not right. I'm going to try to check that out later. FYI, people do rig these things up, so always kind of keep an eye out for that. All right, so now that we have our carburetor off, see, there's our intake, there's our two-stroke line we're going to delete because we're not going to use the injection anymore. We're going to do straight mix on this particular model. And see, now the advantages of that would definitely be if that mechanical pump stops working at some point. Yeah, bear with me, I'm trying to get this camera right. Okay, maybe that'll work. So if the mechanical pump stops working at some point, your engine will be getting two-stroke oil. So what you're going to want to do when you're taking off the carburetor bowl is really hold it tight and apply a lot of pressure on your screwdriver. Because what happens if you don't, and you're not pushing as hard as you can on it while you're doing this, you can strip out that screw. And if you strip out the head of that screw, it's going to cause all kinds of more problems. By the way, I'm sorry if my videotaping skills are not the best. I'm pretty new at this. However, I have a lot of experience and I've been working on these things for several years. All right, so there are, I believe, 4 screws holding this one on. And we are going to take them off, and then we're going to see what the inside of this carburetor looks like. And I'm going to spare you the boring details of cleaning the carburetor. However, I'm just going to explain to you what you would need to do if you're in this situation and you want to inspect and clean it. So we're getting these screws out. Almost there. There we go. Alright. And then you want to give it a little bit of a tap. Probably a good idea. And yeah, you know what? The inside of this one doesn't look too terrible. If you could tell, there's a little bit of crap on the bottom of there. But you know what? It's really not that big a deal. We're going to rinse that out with either some gas or carburetor cleaner. And then when you get to your carburetor here, you basically want to take a guitar string, or if you got a carburetor cleaning kit, and you want to take out this particular main jet. They call that your big jet. Here's your main jet. Okay? And then inside this little hole right here next to that, and this applies for most carburetors, by the way, okay, there is what you call slow jet. Now you can't really see it in there. However, if you're going to need a little screwdriver, and it has a flathead notch in it like this one does right here, and you're going to want to apply pressure just like when we were taking these off, the bowl screws. And you're going to want to apply pressure and be able to get that off. So that's a flathead in there and a bigger flathead here. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, if you have an issue with your carburetor and it's leaking, see this, there's a pin in here that holds this float, okay? You're going to want to get this pin out of here. And then underneath here, let me see if I can get it out for y'all. Underneath here is a little valve, a little, they call it a needle valve. And what that does, here, bear with me, let me find my tool. There we go. And what that does, that needle valve is going to keep the fuel from going in and overflowing the bowl, which if it overflows, it is going to cause your carburetor to leak, which is always a bad thing, right? Because not only will it make your machine run poorly, you'll lose gas, and you won't be able to ride very long. So if you look at this, this is basically like a similar thing they would have in your toilet bowl, right? If you ever had an inside of a toilet bowl open, and what it does is this little needle goes on the bottom of here. See, you slide it on. It's got like a little, let's see if you guys can see that, it's got a little thing to hold it in there. Okay, you put that on there, and then it holds. See that? Just like that. Now, I'm going to clean this carburetor up. So, it actually looks in really good condition. I'm pretty shocked, but I'm going to take out these jets, and I'm going to clean them up, and then reinstall them, make sure there's no debris in there. And you could also take you a cotton swab and put it on the end of a drill, and you can polish this. That's one of the tricks of the trades. You polish that, and man, it'll be like brand new. Now, you can also get one of these new needle valves and replace it just because it is a wear part. Eventually it will go bad. Or if it's not leaking and you don't care, just throw it back in there. But it's always a good idea to take it all apart and inspect it. And that's pretty much it. It's you get it apart. The name of the game is clean everything up. and reassemble. So thanks for joining me on this video. As you can see, I got my work cut out for me. So I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for joining me.